Hey Weeblos, hey pals, this is everybody's favorite gamer girl, Tristonium, and today, I'm not reviewing Max Payne 1, or 2, but 3. Oh, God, the saturation, why? Oh my God, oh God, make it like the other ones, put it back, oh God, that's better, Jesus. So this is my last video reviewing Payne Papa Max and his games, which I have enjoyed so far. Will I enjoy this one since it's made by Rockstar? Now, after the first two games were made by Remedy? Do I even like video games? Am I happy? Most of these questions will be answered in this review. So Max is in a very different place than he was in the last two games. Not mentally though, he's as depressed as ever, but physically. Max in the first two games was in New York, but now he's in Brazil as a bodyguard for a rich family, which I know sounds like it might work horribly, but it works. Okay, just trust me. We'll get to that. Okay, but this game, it goes a lot deeper into Max's internal issues. You know, it feels more like the fall of Max Payne than 2 did, as Max tries to prove to himself that he can still be a little hero boy and save the day. And he's also one of my favorite Rockstar protagonists. Though they're all very similar, but I like him a lot. And this whole game, it's pretty much just about Max trying to protect this one family as they're attacked. And, you know, it gives you a lot of chance to murder bad guys. That's what Max Payne is all about. Also, a quick thing, but the story now, it's just one big like group of chapters. And the last games, they were different parts with their own chapters, but now it's just chapters. Now, anyways, since just the cover made it very obvious that there was a change in Max's atmosphere, how about we talk about that, please? Please. Max Payne 3 has a very different atmosphere from the first two games, one factor being the setting. Like mentioned before, the first games were based in New York, and this one being set in Brazil might be a big turnoff for players of the first two, but it actually works pretty well. Well, for me at least. This game is kind of an extremely soft reboot of Max Payne's world. Like, everything from the first two games is canon story-wise, but now the atmosphere and presentation are super different, so it's like only those things are rebooted. You still hear Max monologue to himself to what I consider a perfect amount, and he's still very sarcastic and depressed. And in this game, it doesn't contain as much humor as the first two, but it doesn't have to. You know, the story and gameplay had me interested enough the whole time. And it's also, the story, it's partially a buddy cop story, because you have a little baby sidekick, and I like it. He isn't overused, and you're still alone for most of the gameplay, and Max and the guy, they have good chemistry. Now, in typical review fashion, let's talk about that Max music. So, this game had really good music, and even the pause theme had like a different take on Max's main theme, which I thought was really good. I think 2's music might be the best in general, to me at least, but for action music, I definitely prefer the songs in this one. Now, before we talk about anything else, I think it's pretty important we talk about the game's cutscene styles, as it got rid of the comic bits. Kinda. So the first two games had pretty nice looking little comic scenes I've talked about before, but this one replaces that with stylized regular cutscenes. So the screen will sometimes split up into different panels, and it can make it hard to keep up with everything, but it usually works out. And sometimes the words the characters are saying, they'll also, pop up sometimes, and I think I prefer this to the old comic scenes, though in those games they worked really well, and in this one it works really well. And also, these new cutscenes, they kind of fill the void of like the horror dream sequences in the first games, although I miss them, but yeah, it kind of replaces them because it's a little glitchy and stuff, based on like Max being a little cuckoo in the head. Anyways, I started my playthrough after putting disc 1 in because yes, this game has 2 discs. Max must be feeling a lot of pain. It's funny because on the picture for the game on the dashboard, it says Rockstar Presents, but it's so small and unreadable on here. Anyways, when starting the game, I immediately went to see what the controls were, and at first I despised them. I was very sad because there wasn't button mapping. But you can aim now, so I couldn't use the left trigger for the bullet time, and the shoot dodge button was now right bumper, which is really hard to get used to. And then the button for bullet time and not diving, just bullet time, was the right stick. And even towards the end of my playthrough, I would get buttons confused, but I think they're okay. Some controls you can change, but I don't think I changed any. You can also still change your aiming reticle, but there's a lot less options now. There's like 3. Anyways, remember last review I mentioned wanting a naked Mona button? There isn't Mona in this game, but there is naked scenes with boobies and buddies, so be very careful if you play this around your family. Damn, they even got twerking in this game. I say that as if it's a bigger thing to have someone twerk than to have literal naked women. Before starting the game, you might notice the main menu has like an arcade section, which lets you go in and just try to shoot to get little game achievements, which I'll talk about next. But yeah, I think you can also go back and like play with outfits of like Max from the other games. Now, the achievement things. There's these little things you can do. They'll give you like tiny in-game achievements, like shoot 150 guys in the balls, or like being in shoot dodge for 10 minutes, and it's cool, but I never really cared much for it, because, you know, if I did, I probably would have ended up just forgetting to have fun and only going after those. We have to do some of these challenges to unlock the game's cheat codes, which it was too much work for me, but I did accidentally get a decent amount of them. Yeah, I had a lot of fun going through the story, like in the missions where you get wet and it looks like you have a cartoon suit, or the mission where I noticed a very strange way Max's back of his shirt ripples, or the mission where you break into the White House. Wait. No, it's not this game. Now, usually in these Max Payne reviews, I talk about gunplay last, but I'll talk about it now since it changed so much compared to the first two games. So, this game is very cover-based, because that's a feature now, and I like it a lot because it makes the fights feel a lot more intense, and Max can still dual-wield and now can mix guns like a pistol and an Uzi or a revolver and laxatives. You also now only have room for one weapon that's like a rifle, unlike the first two games where you have infinite weapon capacity. This one lets you hold a realistic amount. I really like though, because one thing about this is because Max still holds the rifle or whatever in his hands if you switch to your one-handed gun, and switching to dual-wield weapons while holding a rifle will make you drop that rifle. Max can also go prone now, and he lands like this after doing shoot dodge, which is kind of funny, and if you accidentally hit a wall or go too far down somewhere, you take damage, which is cool. You can't crawl around while in prone, which kind of sucks. More like Max can't walk, am I right?
Boo! You stink!
Okay, fine. Jesus. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop. And once again, you can crouch and you're still not able to walk. Wait. Oh god, you can crouch and walk now! You can blind fire while in cover, which in other games like GTA 4 and 5, I never really did because I didn't like it, but I tried it in this game after hearing Nikki Jakey mentioning it was fun, and actually I really like it. I once again played with free aim on this game, and it was cool. I might try this out for other games because I really liked it, and it was fun. Also, you can hold A to make Max run, but he's a little grandpa, so he's very slow. And one last thing about the gameplay is whenever you kill the last enemy in a group, the camera follows the bullet, and I like it a lot. It's very cinematic. You can see it here. Now, let's talk about the difficulty and level design. I chose to play the game on medium difficulty, and from that, the game had a really good balance of difficulty and fun. I got very mad a few times, but what I consider a reasonable amount. I really like the level design of the game too. The first games were pretty much you go into a room and kill all the guys, try leaving, but the second door is locked, then you find your objective in the room and bad guys come out from the locked door you tried leaving from before, and that's how you get your new path. This game just has you flying through waves of bad guys and action pieces, which are definitely the best in the series. This game has Max do some like so much crazy stuff, and then it'll throw you into shoot dodge, and it's really amazing. Also, if you take a max amount of pain possible, you'll die, obviously, unless you have painkillers, which will force you into bullet time, and if you can hit someone, you don't die. Also, you can look for clues in levels and pause the game to see how many clues are in each chapter, and the clues will have Max monologue a little bit of lore he just learned, and there's also golden gun pieces that are like collectibles, and if you find them, you get stronger guns, and I don't like upgrading my characters like with stuff like that in games, so I didn't care much for the pieces, but I did find a few. They also went back to not really having companion stuff in the games, but it's still in a few missions, and it works pretty well. Also, in my last review, I know I mentioned the fun of the game being like spray and pray, but this game has the perfect amount of both times to use spray and pray and times to use precise aiming. So with a pistol, I typically tried hitting all my shots like perfectly, but with most other guns, I would just shoot everywhere, and it was really fun. Also, there's no longer any melee type of weapons, which is fine, I don't care much about that, but they also got rid of grenades, which I miss, but there's other stuff like a grenade launcher in one mission, and it kind of fills the void. They also got rid of the quick save feature. Now, on to the really stupid Dumbo Stinky Brainer Poo Poo Doodle Fart Grandpa Please Help Me segment. First, we'll be mentioning how Max can't leave a cover crouched. Even if you crouch, go into cover, you get away from cover and it stands you up, which is annoying. Another thing is you can't skip cutscenes. Usually they aren't really in the way of the checkpoints, but it still annoyed me. Something else is there's a stealth mission where it only lets you kill 2 people before throwing you into a gunfight. I know stealth has never really been a Max Payne thing, but I love stealth in shooting games. Now, to the things I enjoyed, liked, and loved. One is this one mission where it had a working escalator. Another is the companion in this mission, and he gets scared when I aim a gun at him.
I was guessing the stairs wouldn't.
Something else is the graphics. They're kinda right between GTA 4s and 5s, and I like them a lot. Though they didn't always look the best. Another thing is the weapon wheel, and I really liked my weapons being limited because to me, it's much more fun to see a protagonist struggling to work with what they have than it is to see them with an almost infinite arsenal. This is why I really like Super Hot, because it lets you, throw bottles and stuff, and that's like my favorite type of action. Another thing is, I love in my shooting scenes in movies and games, a thing is property damage, and I absolutely love seeing bullets, miss and blow stuff up, like in this one office part in a mission. It was so cool. Just look at it. Something else is that every mission gives you a cool main menu screen, and when loading back into a mission, it gives you a little comic recap. One last thing I liked was that when you pause the game, it lets you move the camera, and I sometimes use this to see if there are enemies around me while shooting. Hi, we reviewed the game. We're donezo with the whole Max Payne trilogy. And also, I don't think I'm gonna give it a number rating because those seem kind of pointless. I always forget to do them, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do that in the green screen bit. Okay, so yeah. But I will tell you how I would rank the Max Payne games. So, 3 was my favorite, 1 was my second favorite, and 2 was my least favorite. Though I love them all. I guess technically in the aspect of ranking, 2 is the worst, but it wasn't bad. I liked it a lot, but I don't know. I just got a couple less points than 1 and then 3. But yeah, I really like them. I love doing these reviews. They really are fun. Very stressful, but I get to play games, I get to talk about games, and then I get to edit the video, get games, post it, and have a couple people watch it. So that's very nice. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. It was really fun doing a whole series, and though this will be posted in July, I did finish this video in June, so I did get 3 reviews done in June. But yeah, it's fun doing these. Please recommend games you want me to review. I'm doing Vice City next, GTA Vice City. Maybe stay tuned for a little sneak peek, I guess. But yeah, this is Max Payne. Well, that's Max Payne. But yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your presence. You're going to see me dance soon. And yeah, I like doing these reviews. Not much has changed in my life since the last review. It's been about maybe a week. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned for more stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed. Go eat breakfast. I don't care what time it is. Go eat breakfast. Okay, bye.